Hello everyone. I'm back with another dream I had, and this is like my third or fourth time trying to make it because I keep getting disturbed or sidetracked and stuff with things that's going on around me. So I'm gonna try to make this quick. But I was saying that I am a real big dreamer, and I used to always have lots of dreams. And sometimes I keep dreaming while I'm dreaming, if that makes any sense. Or I'll wake up right out of one dream and go to a different dream, or go back into the same dream but a different part, or stuff like that. I do remember those things. So, and I do remember that I did have a dream, and I was in the dream, like I was in a dream from first person, and then it turned around that I was in a dream from third person or whatever. But anyways, I can't remember that dream, and I know that probably happened to me a couple of times too. But anyways, I just recently started back dreaming, and I would like to put these on record because I should have done this long time ago with the dreams I used to get, because I was having a lot of dreams and not having the full interpretation of all of them. So I had a dream. I had two dreams about 2 weeks ago, a little longer, I really don't know, but somewhere around that time. So the dream went like this. It started off, I was by my friend's house, or outside of her house. So the area, it looked it just like her house, and like it had her vehicle and stuff in the yard and stuff like that, except that in my dream it was bigger than what it normally is in real life, and it didn't have all the excess streets around it, because her house is really surrounded by like four, maybe five streets, all kind of little side streets and stuff like that, because it's kind of in a little duck off section or whatever. But anyways, I noticed I was outside of her house, and I really don't recall what I was doing out there, but I know I was out there, and it was like evening time, and during the day, so the sun wasn't out as bright or shining bright, and it didn't look like gloomy or anything for rain or nothing, or stuff like that. So, and it wasn't nighttime, so I happened to look up. Well, right before I looked up, so I noticed that during this part of the dream, I noticed that I didn't really see no people outside, or I don't even remember my friend being outside at this time, or being close to me where I could actually talk to her. So then I looked up into the sky to see some clouds, to check out some clouds. And when I looked up, I noticed they had two clouds, and they looked very similar, like identical to one another, except the whole sky was blue in my peripheral, where I could see the street. I was looking like picture that you're sitting outside and you're looking across the street up into the sky. So that's kind of how I looked up. So I looked up into the sky like that, and in my peripheral, I could see the whole sky was blue, except these two white clouds that was identical to one another, except one was on the left and one was on the right, and it was very close together, except they had like a circular opening in the center of it. But the clouds was shaped like cloud that you would see drawn on a paper or something. So there was nice fluffy white clouds, but right in the middle of them, not in the clouds, but in between them, in between the two clouds. So like in the blue part, in the blue sky, if that makes sense. So right in between the two clouds, on the blue sky, it had a circular opening right there. I noticed that. So as soon as I noticed the circular opening, um to the left, to the left cloud or whatever, because like, when you look in the sky and you see the white clouds, but like you can see like the shade of blue behind them. So that's kind of how I looked at it a little bit. So to the left, in the left cloud, I noticed that it had a shiny yellowish, uh circuit, like a yellowish bright light back there. So like kind of shaped like a circle a little bit to me, but it was like bright and yellow. Not orange bright, but like yellow bright yellow. So I noticed that, and it was moving fast. So like when I noticed it, it kind of jolted and shot toward the left, towards the circular opening. So once it did that, now all this happening at one time. Once it did that, that's when I noticed other people was outside, because somebody holler, what that is in the sky. And when they hollered it, I hurry up and I said, that's Jesus coming. I don't know why I said that, but that was the first thing that I said. And so as this yellow subject, like circular bright light, moving, jolting to the circle towards the right, towards the circular opening, when it got to the circle, it when it got to the circle, I'm expecting Jesus to come out of it, or whatever. Or we expecting Jesus to come out of it. So instead of Jesus coming out, though, a big circle, like meteor or comet, came to the hole right there, and it like showed face right there, and then all of a sudden it waited like a second or so, or maybe not even that long, but it shot out of the hole. And how it looked, I'm gonna try to describe it to y'all. It looked like a circle, but it had like some like crater spots on it, and like tentacle, like, so like on, not spikes on the edge of it, but like tentacle like things. So if you look up almost like a picture of how they making the coronavirus things look, how they make that look, except it was blue. So it looked almost exactly like that coming out of the sky, except it was blue. So so that came out of the sky, and then it came down on a slant, and at this point it's coming down in like almost like a slow-mo type thing. It's coming down fast, but it's like in slow motion, to where like I can actually see it coming down and where it's about to land at and stuff like that. And then it passed like in front of me, like on a slant like that or whatever, but it was like a good distance away from me, but not that far away from me. So probably about maybe about 50 feet, 60 feet away from me, in my friend, so away from her house area. And it landed somewhere over there. And when it landed, it like stuff started lightning on fire. So like it was not like the whole ground didn't light up at one time. It was like it sparked fire, and pieces of fire just chipped off of it, and it just started lighting like grass on fire. It started lighting like cars on fire. Pieces of stuff was on fire. So not a whole car, but probably like the tires of the car or something on one side, or or like a chair or something, or whatever was outside, and all in this different, in this place or whatever, so in this area. So but I don't recall no people getting burnt or nothing like that, or catching fire. So all of a sudden, somebody was outside. I don't know who this person was. I couldn't really see him or whatever. But some type of way they showed up with a hose pipe, a fire hose, like a big fire hose pipe, and it was, it was just like a fire hose, but they didn't have no fire truck out there. So I didn't see where the end of this hose came from either. All I noticed that, the water was coming out of it, and I could see the hose part of it, and, like a little piece of the hose or whatever, and I could see how the pressure was coming out for the water. And like this person was just putting out the fires that was all over the place or whatever. And then my friend hollered, I think that's everything or whatever, talking about the fire. And I was like, no, I'm like, no, a piece of your truck on fire over here. And so she called the person with the hose, not by name. She just called them, and she was like, hey, over here or whatever. And they ran with the hose over there, and they sprayed it out or whatever. And then, like, I kind of woke up from that dream. And right after I woke up from that dream, I stayed up probably for a couple of minutes, and then I dozed right back off. And I went into probably the same dream, but I'm not really sure. But all I can remember about this dream was I was telling my sister, I was telling my sister that God was gonna set the world on fire. And she was saying something, but I couldn't recognize what she was saying. But she was just trying to tell me, like, I might be tripping, or that I'm probably. I think she was just saying that I was upset, and that is all in my mind or whatever. And I'm like, no, because that's what I call. I'm like, no, God gonna destroy the world by fire this time. He gonna destroy by fire this time. And as I'm telling her this, I'm crying, like I'm pouring out my heart to her. So I kind of felt like that's what God was doing to me at that time, because it was like all in my chest, all in my stomach, that I felt like, as if you would lose somebody you love type of hurt. And when I woke up, I felt the exact same pain, and like I was, still like whining, like crying when I woke up, and I realized that I was sleeping. And I'm like, oh yeah, that felt too real right there. So I'm saying that when I, as I got up in my head or whatever, and I'm like, Lord. And when I woke up, get this, they had a tornado watch outside of my house or whatever, outside of my area where I live at. And the sirens was going off. So like, as I'm trying to wake up out of this dream, crying, talking about God gonna destroy the world by fire this time, I hear the sirens in my dream, but they not sounding like sirens. They almost confused me, like it could have been almost a trumpet sound. So when I actually did wake up in real life, when I actually woke up out of my dream, because I keep saying real life, all is real life, the dream, but dream life and real life. So when I woke up out of the dream, it was pitch black outside, and I could see it through my blinds. But I was so scared from when I woke up out of the dream and me hearing the sirens. I really thought that, that it was the end right then and there, and I was scared to look out of the window in real life, So I kind of just got up. I kind of got up and opened up my eyes, and I sat up, and I just sat there for a little while and stuff.